All right, this is a quick walkthrough for learning activity in Unit 1, our robot algorithm. And the idea here is just to kind of explore what an algorithm is and how it works. And we're going to write this algorithm in what we call pseudocode, which is kind of not a programming language like Java and not English, but something kind of in between. And you are kind of can develop your own little pseudocode with the commands you want. Some of the commands that the robot, we're going to direct this robot here, and we can do things like check the door north, or check to the, I mean, let's say up is north. Check the door to the north or the door south to see if there's a door there. So that would say it would return false if there's no door there, or true if there's a door there. You can also tell the robot to go north. It'll fail if it tries to go, then there's not door. But if it were to go, let's say um, west or east here, if you went to the east, you'd end up here for this. Um, and so we're going to start with a couple different things. Initially, we start with a robot in a maze like this of doors, and we're dropped in this, and we're dropped in the northwest corner. So we're north as far up as we can, and west as far left as we can. That's where our robot starts. And your goal is to come up with an algorithm to figure out how many squares there are, how many rooms there are in this whole um, area. And initially, you are told that you're in a square maze, so you know that here. And your idea is to come up with an algorithm to check things out. This kind of comes back to you remember this what we looked at in class possibly is this. This is the code.org version where we're controlling this little um, Angry Bird here, and we can tell it to go forward and then go forward and here, and we can then run it and it'll go forward. And again, here the commands are go forward, turn left, turn right, things like that. Let's reset that. We also have commands like repeat. And again, you can come up with your own things. There's not a check command here to check if there's something here yet. But again, later on, there are different commands. So like there's a repeat until you hit the pig command. So again, you can come up with your own sort of pseudocode. This you certainly don't want to repeat until pig command, but you can come up with your own sort of pseudocode for this based on these. And again, you can do basic math and stuff like that. So if you want to do some other things, you can. So let's say, how will we check, just logically, if we know the routes here, how do we know how big the room is? And so if we're here, we can check if there's a door. Well, basically we want to maybe step, step, until we get, until we find that there is no more doors to go through. So we want to check if there's a door here, and if so, go through the door. And then check if there's a door and go through the door. So we can write this algorithm out here. Here, let me just, so like here's another view. Maybe we're right here. I'm just using a little spreadsheet to show. So I would be here, and there's a door here. So I will, my first command might be check for door to the east. If this is west here, check for the door to the west. And if there's a door there, I'm going to go, and so maybe not that, maybe I'll say if there's a door to the east, then go east. And then, so then I would move from here. So I would have been here. And now I'll be in here instead if I go east. So now I'll be in that location. And then I can, again, check if there's another door. If there's a door to the east, then I want to go east. Then go east there. So then I would be here. So then I would have been, I've moved over to that spot here. And then I would check if door to the east, then go east. And I'm doing this over and over again, so maybe I want to do this in some sort of loop. So maybe I want to say repeat or something like that. Now, what happens if I don't, if there isn't a door to the east. If there's a door to the east, I go east. But what if there, like here, there isn't a door to the east, so now I don't do anything? So you could also have another command like if there's a door to the east, go east. But otherwise, do something else. Sometimes we use the else. We else do something. Else stop. Here or and so how do you want to set this up and do this now? As you're going through this, you can also keep track of counts of stuff. So one thing I want to maybe count is how many rooms I visited, because I know if I'm here, that's one room, two rooms, three rooms. If I've visited three rooms and then I run out of doors, then I know that my square is 3 by 3, so the number of rooms is 3 by 3. This actually isn't a square, is it? Okay, I fixed my base, so it is actually a square. So now I have, so it says like you can do basic math and remember numbers. So maybe I want to remember some numbers as I'm going through this. So maybe I want to, when I go to the east, um, I want to go to the east and I want to count the rooms. So maybe I have some variable. So maybe I keep track of a number of the rooms. So initially the rooms visited, and again, I don't know what I call this. So maybe I just want to call uh, set rooms visited to 0. And then when I go east, maybe then I want to, I'm going to move this all down hopefully. I want to go east and then add 1 to the rooms visited. I don't want that possessive. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I think. Okay, rooms visited. So that's maybe my variable is the rooms visited. And maybe I want to, if you like coding, if you can decide how much English you want this to be and how much code. So maybe if I want to make this more like code, I make this a variable name like rooms visited all one word here, and I use that same word here. But again, if you want to have it more English-like in your pseudocode, you're fine to do that also. And then when I'm done, maybe when I stop here, I can then display total rooms equals rooms visited squared. Something like that. I'm running out of the screen here. So again, we're coming up with some sort of algorithm like this for you. And again, we're not too picky about what you use. In fact, you can use different algorithms. Already in the discussion, people, you can talk about going left to right or different color doors or things like that, because you might notice the vertical doors are one color, the walls are one color, the horizontal is another color. You can use that or ignore that. Um, you can do whatever you want. So you can kind of set up your own pseudocode for going through this. But basically, you're going to be able to check uh, if there's a door to the north or south, and then go north or south, and then again do basic math. And then you can also loop, so you can things like ask if or do repeats or stuff like that maybe. So try to work that into your English. So your job is to go through and try to do this, assuming you're a square room and you're start at upper left hand corner. Then we say, well, what if it's not square? What if it's rectangular? How do you have to do? What do you have to do? If it's rectangular, you can't just walk till you hit a wall and say it's that squared. You have to figure out something slightly different. And this is a simple rectangle. In this rectangle, you're dropped into the rectangle, but you might start any spot in the grid. So you're not going to start in the upper left hand corner here. So for the first two, you're dropped into the upper left hand corner here, but for later ones you might be dropped anywhere. So you can be dropped here, and if you're, can you write an algorithm to work with that, and what additional steps might you have to do? And then there are stranger grids you can try to think about here. So just work on this in class. We'll work on this and kind of discuss it as we go. If you're an online student, just try it out yourself. And you might want to watch the discussion. So again, this is just a learning activity, but then this week's discussion is to share some code here. Share something besides about yourself, but also post some answers to the 4 learning activities. You don't have to complete all parts here if you get stuck. I mean, uh, you're not graded on how well you did the learning activity. You're just graded on your participation you're posting here. So that's fine. So then you go to the discussion area here and do it. So this or else you can also go to activities discussion area and find it that way. And these will be our discussion topics. We'll be in I guess you go here first, and then we'll be in Unit 1 discussion. And already people have posted some stuff, and you can post then replies. So and then you can just post these, and people you can read some of these while you're trying out, just to see what kind of pseudocode, what kind of English pseudocode, how do they describe this, and you're free to base your work on any of previous students' work also. I mean, this is just a learning activity here, and discussion is just sharing this. Similar to what we do in class. In class, we'll be talking about this. We'll be asking students to share, what did you do what kind of commands did you do? What kind of commands didn't you do for this? And how did you word it? And that sort of stuff. So this is a hopefully a low stress activity. You should just work on it and hopefully learn some. So hope you enjoy it. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions.